We chose to start the June issue because it's the official celebration with the big weekend at the beginning of June in England. But our question was, how do we make it our own? How do we make it Canadian? Because every other magazine will have, something, of the Queen. Many of them have started with special editions. So what will make it unique to not just the West, but to Canada? And we hit on the idea of, wow, Charlie Pachter. And Charlie Pachter, as we know, is this incredible Canadian artist who always celebrated Canadiana. So I went to his studio, the Moose Factory, and looked around, and there was a painting that he had done. I saw it and I said, wow, that's a cover, because it speaks to the nostalgia, but it's also modern because it's a painting of its time, and it's truly Canadian because we have both monarchs of the North, the Queen and the Moose.
Here's the painting that the Zoomer cover is from. Originally, an old reproduction on canvas that was in all the vice principal's offices in high school when you got a detention. That's what we remember seeing. It was just logged into our memory. But I added, again, because of the monarchs, it's called the Monarchs of the North, and I put the two monarchs in, the moose climbing up the hill in the back. Now we're going into the studio. I've met Margaret, Charles, and the Queen Mother, but I haven't met the big kahuna. Not yet. You never know. What would I say to her? I mean, first of all, you're tongue-tied. But here's a woman who's been through, what, 12 presidents? I don't know how many dictators. She's been all over the world. She truly is, never mind politics, never mind colonial this or that, she truly is a remarkable human being. There's no question about it. I sent a copy of this to the palace for her birthday, and I got back a little pert note from the lady-in-waiting, as only the British can, and it said, Her Majesty wishes to thank you for your thoughtful gift and assures you that an appropriate place will be found for it. They didn't say where. The loo, the rec room. Do you think Buckingham Palace has a rec room? They may, somewhere.
He's obviously very affectionate. They're all funny, and they're fun.
They're complimentary.
And then he even did some postage stamps. As you know, our first royal cover was Bryan Adams' shot of the Queen, which became a Canadian postage stamp. So it's nice to have that in the layout to reference our own history with the monarchy, even though we're only 4 years old. We do have a history with the monarchy.
Not everyone knows this about me, but I'm an avid royal watcher, even a bit of an expert. I love watching the royals. It's like a living soap opera / fairy tale. And like David Letterman, I have my own top 10 list of the things that the Queen has given Canada. Number 10, hats. Number 9, the Constitution. Now, where would Canada be without our own Constitution? 8, Hello Magazine. 7, makes us not American. 6, pomp and circumstance. And by that, I mean tradition. For example, the English tradition of tea. Who doesn't love a nice cup of tea? 5, insouciance. Just think of Pierre Trudeau and his pirouette from 1977 at Buckingham Palace at the G7 summit. 4, pastels and purses. Number 3, the Queen has given us the ability to learn to cope with our own personal annus horribilis. 2, Wills and Harry. Last but not least, 1, royal visits. The Queen has come numerous times, as has other members of the royal family. It's always a great treat for Canadians. They turn out in droves. It's exciting. We love having her here.
This is the 60 in 60 exhibit. It's 60 pictures of Her Majesty the Queen during multiple visits to the province of Ontario, beginning in the early 1950s and going up to the most recent visit of 2010. And a number of them are iconic pictures that people remember and recall with great fondness. Others are hidden gems, especially in the early years. As you look at styles and fashions, you realize what a trendsetter she was as a young woman and just how dynamic her presence was. I had the great pleasure as a young boy at the age of 9, and we have a picture of this in the display. It's not hard to spot. The one person in the dark blazer, that would be the wool blazer, in the front row, that's me. And all the other children, of course, are wearing shirt sleeves, which was the proper attire to wear for the temperature. But as my British-born grandfather absolutely insisted, if his grandson was to be reviewed by the Queen, I would be properly attired. And so no way could you possibly know that almost 50 years later that I would have been appointed Lieutenant Governor and would be traveling to Great Britain, to Buckingham Palace, to be officially received by the Queen to introduce myself to her as her representative in the province of Ontario. Nor could I have known even then, in 2008, that she would be here in 2010, and that she would be right here in this suite of offices for a royal visit.
I never expected to be able to write such a book. I thought the institution was dying in Canada. I thought it's not being really taught in schools anymore. Most young people think it's sort of weird to have the English Queen on our coins and dollars. This is the coronation coin of the Queen. This was the one ordinary people got. It was copper. And if you were fancy and famous, like Mr. Massey, the Governor General, you got a silver one like that. But those were both coins that were given out at the time of the coronation in 1953. I remember the excitement surrounding the coronation. It was really exciting. It was black and white thing on television. Part of the excitement was the fact that we actually got a television set to watch it, like a lot of people did. So it was a toss-up whether it was reverence for the Queen or reverence for this amazing new instrument. We get to say what the Queen does. She doesn't get to say. We say what we want her to do. And that means that it's a kind of symbol of what was once a medieval and autocratic system that's been transformed by control of people. And then we are incredibly lucky that we have this staunch, slightly stuffy, but dutiful old woman now, but who was very young when she started, who has been loyal to the cause and probably been in more parts of Canada than most Canadians have been. She's an interesting old broad.
My name is Andrew Weiner from Toronto, Ontario, and I want to wish the Queen a very happy and healthy year, and we look forward to hearing from you again next year.
My name's Georgina Davey, and my wishes for the Queen are a long and happy life, and I want her to beat Queen Victoria's reign.
Hi, my name is Judy Pregel, and I wish all the best. God save the Queen on her Diamond Jubilee.
Hi, I'm Naomi, and I'd just like to congratulate the Queen for her 60 years on her Diamond Jubilee.
My name's Tom Rowe, and my wish for the Queen on her Diamond Jubilee is a very happy, healthy family.
Oh, I wish her health, happiness, and the joy of life.
My name is Taras Fedoriuk. I wish the Queen the best and many, many years as our Queen.
My name is Sarah Shaw, and my wishes for the Queen on her Diamond Jubilee is that she has a great time for the rest of her life, as she has had for her life, and for her family to continue to do a good job with their country.
My name is Gloria Alonso. I just want to wish the Queen a happy Jubilee.